What is up, Tube users? I'm the stereotypical gamer, and Season 9 of Overwatch is upon us, and oh boy, are there a lot of changes. I mean, just going through the patch notes, there is a lot to unpack. So let's just kind of give a brief summary of what Season 9 is bringing to Overwatch. The basic summary is competitive has been overhauled, and you no longer have to win 5 games or lose 15 to get your new competitive rank. And now, after 10 games, it will give you your rank. So everyone's ranks has been reset. It will give you your rank after 10 games, wins or losses, just 10 full games. And then from there, you'll see like a progress, kind of like a XP bar as it was after each competitive game to see if you ranked up more or ranked down more, and then passing thresholds will rank you up, or if you go down thresholds, it will rank you down. So that's basically what has changed for competitive. There's new Jade weapons that you can unlock with competitive points. I'm not fully certain on how that works because it's a new competitive point system that you get, and that will unlock Jade weapons. But now it's like after a year, those turn into the old competitive points, which you can use to unlock gold guns. And so it seems like there's no way right now to get the gold guns. At least as far as I'm aware, I haven't really dived into any competitive, but I did play some games earlier, and so I wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on things. And there was a lot of small changes to heroes, but they basically all encompass the same philosophy of what Season 9 brings us, and that's basically the majority of projectiles, whether that be hit scan projectiles, normal projectiles, whatever, they all have an increase in their projectile size and their speed and acceleration. It's not a whole lot, it's very small, but it is noticeable. I noticed in my games. I played about 5 games on Season 9 earlier just to get an idea of how things played. And you could definitely feel yourself hitting more. Like, I mean, I guess I could look now at the heroes that I've played throughout the seasons and just look at accuracy. So it'll be interesting to see the accuracy increase in Season 9. But basically, to compensate for players now hitting more things, is every hero has gotten an HP buff. So basically, Widowmaker and Tracer, who had the lowest HP pools in the games, have now gotten a 25 HP increase. Any heroes that were 200 to 300, so supports and most DPS and stuff, they got a 50 HP increase, and then tanks got a 75 to 100 HP increase. And so that kind of counterbalances the projectile buff that everyone got, just to make things a little bit easier and kind of flow better so things aren't as bursty as they should be. But honestly, now I think the most important new feature into this season is the new DPS passive. Now, instead, it used to be if you got an elim on a DPS, you get increased movement. I think they nerfed movement speed, but it was definitely increased reload speed. But now, anytime you deal damage to any hero, they get a minus 20% healing done to them for 2 seconds. And that you could definitely feel. I think I played 5 games earlier. 2 of them I played DPS. 3 of them I played support, and you can definitely feel it on support. Like, especially if the DPS are focusing on the tank, it took me like a full clip of Ana's shots to just get my tank back to full when he had that debuff. It is definitely noticeable. And it's still definitely too early to tell how these changes affect all heroes. But it does kind of seem like spray heroes like Sombra, Tracer, those kind of DPS heroes are going to do better because of this passive. They could just, as long as they land one shot on a target, they get that minus 20% healing. And it's definitely noticeable, and it definitely changes the style of fighting, I think, especially for DPS. You would kind of just, depending on which DPS you're playing, you kind of want to focus targets and stuff like that. With this, you kind of want to, it feels like you want to pepper everyone as much as possible to keep that debuff up for the maximum amount of time. And because this new DPS passive applies to any target, it makes it really good to just target tanks. And I really feel bad because, especially the games I was playing supports, like, you just try and pump as much to keep people alive, and now definitely I feel that supports are not as strong as they used to be, which is a good thing. I think supports were way too strong for way too long, and I think this change in how the game is played and the kind of overall nerfing of supports is going to be interesting to play out the rest of the season. And then the other big change was Pharah got reworked. I didn't see anyone playing Pharah, and I didn't personally play Pharah just because I'm not a huge fan, and I was in maps that weren't necessarily good for Pharah to play on. But I did try her out in the training range. She feels interesting. I really think that the reworks that we've gotten to heroes, Sombra especially, I think Sombra is super fun to play. Roadhog isn't bad either. I do like the change, so he's not just like destroyed by anti and can't use his like one button. It feels a lot better. And then, I mean, I still should probably play her in a game, but just messing around on the practice range with her, she feels enjoyable. I mean, she's not going to be the hover queen that she was before, but to have a lot of more movement and just kind of ways to get around quickly will be super interesting to see how it plays out, especially now that you can't be up in the air for extended periods of time. And the other thing this does is kind of eliminate just one-shots in general. So, like, Widowmaker headshot won't kill people unless it's another Widow or Tracer, because those two are still fairly low HP, but again, it's going to be hard to get either of them. Hanzo can't one-shot with his arrows anymore, but again, both of those heroes have their projectile increase, so it'll be easier for them to hit headshots in theory, but we'll just have to see if Hanzo Widowmaker players can still be effective. I mean, I personally I'm not a sniper hero. I hardly ever choose Hanzo and Widow, so I won't personally know, but do feel like it will be interesting. But anyways, that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like. What are your thoughts on Season 9? Leave them in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
That rhythm.